Are you a NSF wondering about all the benefits you can get while serving in the army? Well, I was previously an admin spec in my company in the army for a year. In this video, I'll share about 9 important benefits that I've learned during my time while serving in the army. However, there are some parts that are more sensitive, so I won't get into that. If you wish to get more details, I'll provide links in the description where possible. So the first benefit is monetary. So your salary is made up of 2 components, your rank allowance and your vocation allowance. For example, if you are a corporal in guards, your base pay will be $650 plus the vocation pay, which is $225, for a grand total of $875 per month. Your pay will be deposited into your bank account listed on NS Portal on the 8th or 10th of every month, and the breakdown of the pay can be found in the NS Portal. Next, there are 2 annual incentive awards. The first is a Marksman Award, which awards $200 to NSFs who meet the minimum requirements for Advanced Train Fire Package, or ATP for short, which is the more advanced version of the Basic Train Fire Package BTP done in BMT. The second is the IPPT Incentive Award. You can get $200 for achieving silver and $300 for attaining gold. Next, there are monetary incentives for hitting milestones in your NS journey. After your ORD, you'll get top-ups into your Post-Secondary Education Account, PISA, and CPF Medisave account, MA. However, the award that most NSFs care about is the $1,000 Life SG credits, which can be spent at most merchants accepting PayNow and NETS QR codes. This can also be withdrawn using the green ATMs in Sheng Siong. They will be deposited into your account within 3 months. These $1,000 Life SG credits will expire 1 year after date of deposit. This calculation by Sidley will be a rough total of the amount you can estimate to earn during your time in army. However, the actual amount will be slightly higher than this, as the vocation allowance has increased since then and the NS Home Awards are not included in this. Now, moving on to medical matters. Visits to polyclinics and A&E departments of government restructured hospitals are completely subsidized by 11B. For visits to private hospitals and private clinics, you can claim up to $20 per visit for a grand total of $350 for each calendar year, which is from the 1st of Jan to the 1st of Jan of the next year. Next, for medical appointments at public hospitals, you can get a referral from CAMMOs or polyclinic doctors to have it completely subsidized. You'll need to bring your referral letter for the first appointment. I'll share some common conditions, and if you have them, do consider getting referrals to get them checked out. If you have difficulty breathing through your nose, this could be due to a deviated septum or blocked nasal passages. You can be referred out to otolaryngology, which is the study of ENT, ear, nose, throat. If you do require surgery to correct your breathing, it will mostly be covered by the SAF, except for 20% of the bed charge. Next, if you find yourself consistently sneezing or having a blocked nose, this could be possibly due to allergies, which is a condition called allergic rhinitis, due to dust mites and other allergens. You can also be referred to otolaryngology for this. If you have high myopia, you can be referred to ophthalmology for eye checks to see if you have any eye diseases. Next, if you need to be hospitalized, the SAF will cover 80% of all ward and meal charges. The ward you are eligible for is based off of your rank. If you are curious about ward upgrading, do check the link in the description. Now on to a tip. If you have been injured and are wondering whether to report sick, make sure to always do so, as this will help in 2 ways. First, this will ensure that you do not have any more serious conditions that you cannot tell from the surface. Secondly, it is easier for you to file a service injury claim if it is because of service due to the medical system having your records. More info about service injury claims is in the description below. Now moving on to dental matters. All dental treatments at camp dental centers are free. Do ask your commanders for which dental center is covering your camp and for their contact. If you do not wish to go to a camp dental center, you can go to a polyclinic with dental services or private clinics. You are entitled up to $120 for 85% of the bill per calendar year, both at public clinics and private clinics. If this sounds confusing, it just means you need to pay 15% of the bill for every visit, and the total 85% can only be up to $120 per year. Hence, do go for consultation while in NS and for scaling and polishing, as it is heavily subsidized. This claim can be filed via the NS Portal. Next is the procedure for wisdom tooth removal. Most people have at least one impacted wisdom tooth. Hence, it is recommended to go for a consultation and x-ray to let a dentist assess the condition of them. You can visit polyclinics or camp dental centers. After an initial consultation, they will refer you to a public hospital if further surgical procedures are needed. Consultation fees at the hospital before and after surgery will be covered if you have a referral from a polyclinic or dental center. I have linked a full guide for this by a private clinic in the description below that I found useful. However, there is an error in this article. Camp medical officers are not allowed to issue referrals, only dental medical officers are allowed to. Now moving on to miscellaneous claims. The first is spectacle claims. NSFs are entitled to claim $40 per financial year, which starts on every 1st of April. You'll need to submit a receipt which contains 3 things: your name, your order number or receipt number, and the date of purchase. The date on the receipt needs to be within 1 month of the date of submission. Also, the receipt needs to be dated after your enlistment date. Submit a picture or scanned copy of the receipt to your commanders, who will then relay it to the unit's manpower branch. There is an article by Nanyang Optical about this claim online. However, their policy has since changed and it is no longer correct. If you do not receive payment of $40 within 3 weeks to your bank account, do check with your commanders for an update. In Singapore, the cheapest spec shop is F-Optics. Their most basic lens and frame starts at only $35.90, which is 3 to 4 times cheaper than other mainstream brands such as Lenskart or Owndays. The specs they sell are of the same quality as the bigger brands, and they have great customer service too. The only difference is that the other mainstream brands have a huge markup which they will pocket. F-Optics is a Singapore startup company which aims to make spectacles affordable while still being trendy. I reached out to them as I really like the brand, and the founder agreed to make me an affiliate. So if you would like to get a pair for yourself, use code EARNERS for 10% off. As they have a standard turnaround time of 3 days, here is what you can do to get your specs during your bookout. As a side note, the spectacles allowed in the SAF are generally full black frames with no half frames or transition lenses allowed unless it is medically required. However, the stance may vary from unit to unit, so just check with your commanders. Another type of claims is transport claims. Regular trips, such as booking in and out, may not be claimed. However, trips made for official purposes may be claimed. For more specifics, check directly with your commanders. Now, moving on to EMAT matters. Credits are added to your account on the first day of your birthday month. Different vocations will be allocated different amounts of credits. Those serving as combatants will receive 260 credits, while those in non-combat roles such as clerks or storemen will receive 170, and 1 credit is equivalent to $1. Credits will be prorated to ensure that the number of months served will equal to the number of months worth of credits allocated. Hence, in BMT, all recruits will have different amounts of starting credits. You can purchase items by walking into physical outlets or using the online service. For physical outlets outside camps, there's one at Safra Jurong and Chevrons. The general public can make purchases here as well. These are the outlets that can be found in the camps. For online purchases, you can opt for home delivery, which is $10.50, which can be paid in credits, or you can get them delivered to e-lockers outside camps for free. One point to note is that there is a maximum allowed quantity, or MAQ for short, for some items. Once you hit that limit, you will need to spend cash to purchase more quantities of that item. This limit resets every year when the new credits are added to your account. For more info such as the expiry date and top-up date, you can log into your NS portal. For a list of items that can be useful in civilian life, I've linked to a guide by Seedly. Now moving on to Passion Card benefits. You could have chosen the NSF Concession Card or the Passion NSF Concession Card. This is chosen during your NS registration the year before enlistment. You cannot choose to swap cards after. If you chose the Passion NSF card, you'll get the benefits and privileges of a Passion Card membership. Do note that both cards do not have discounted travel like a student, so you would still need to pay adult price for public transport. For the concession, you must buy a concession pass for monthly unlimited travel. This will only really be worth it to those stay-out personnel who frequently need to travel. For more info about these concession passes, check the link in the description. You can get discounts at over 2,000 Passion merchant outlets. However, the details on this are a bit vague, so the best thing to do is to go and visit the website and search for the specific shop or ask the shop if they do have any discounts. Now we'll be moving on to the leaves and offs policy. All NSFs will have 14 days of annual leave for a full year of service. Leaves for any less than a full year of service will be prorated. You may use these leaves to go overseas after seeking permission from your commanders. However, take note that both local and overseas leaves will need to suit your unit schedule, so it is highly unlikely that you can choose which days exactly to take leave on. Next, depending on your unit, off days may be granted for weekend and public holiday duties. Do check with your commanders for your specific unit's policy. Another type of leave is compassionate leave. This is given in the event of certain family members being seriously ill or passing on. Now moving on to the disruption policy. Now, some of you may be able to disrupt army for the last few months of your service to pursue further studies. The general idea is that if you are a year behind your peers who have the same qualifications, you may be considered for disruption. For more details on this, check the link in the description below. Apart from that, there is another scheme for students who have gotten a placing into NTU or NUS medicine called the Local Medicine Disruption Scheme, LMDS for short. Selected NSFs will be able to defer NS after BMT for medical school. For those wanting more information, check out the infographic created by NUS in the description. Now moving on to SkillsFuture. All NSFs are given 2-year access to the NTUC Learning Hub Learning e-Experience platform, which features over 75,000 courses. You can activate the account at any time during your national service. It will be valid for 2 years from the date of activation. The link to activate your account is in the description below. You will receive your account details within 14 days of activating your account. From my experience using it and speaking to customer service, there are only basic introduction courses. For more advanced courses which provide certifications, those are not inside. There are also many bugs with the system now and it's still relatively new. Separately, there's also $350 worth of ePrep credits. These can be used for courses offered by local universities and Udemy. This is valid from 1 year before ORD to 1 year after. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. Bye bye!